Welcome back, YouTube. Today we've got a few things going on. Um, and when I jumped on to record my final clips of the day, I realized that there was no voice recording on any of the clips except for my last clip. So today we are going to try a new format of recording things that are recording over. So as you can see, we added a lot of storage up here and added some materials in a slightly organized way. We've got some of our raw materials in this chest over here, and then some utensils, or not utensils, but our mining stuff in the middle section, mostly the valued jewels and some of the nether stuff. Most of the storage is empty. We have a lot of room to grow in. The barrels are all unused. The second floor is unused. We will be trying to fill that in. There's one barrel on the first floor that's used for mainly tools that we're using at the moment. Our enchantment book of the day, since nobody commented, is going to be protection. Protection 4. Took us a while to get that one, and I was tired of swapping, so I hit a little chest up here for some even more valuable items, things that we get rarely, at least right now. So we'll put that in there. We bypassed enchanting any protection because we've got diamond armor and seems to be pretty nice. Spoilers, it may have come in handy in our future of the episode, later in the episode. We don't die, but we get close to a couple hearts, and you'll see why that was happening. But we have a few goals for this episode. We are going to go to the village and try to restore it, since us going there and coming back, and sometimes during night, has caused the village to somewhat, how do you say it? Basically become overran by zombies. So pretty much only the villagers that were protected were saved. So we took a few of the villagers that lasted, and put them in this breeder, and we tried to breed things up. It didn't start going too well. We were starting to do with potatoes, but we didn't have enough potatoes to fully invest in the system. So what we ended up doing was, right now you can see we have 3 compost bins in there, 2 on the sides and 1 in the middle. And I think that there was an issue with some of them because we tossed in some bread to get the cycle a little bit quicker to get some babies, because we wanted to do some more stuff with them later in the episode. So we ended up taking out the 2 on the side, I believe, and that sped up the process. I'm not sure if that was placebo, or if I slightly did the farm wrong. I've built this a few times, and basically it follows the same concept of a 9x9 farm. The villagers are, with the potatoes in there, are going to pass the leftover potatoes to each other, and they're going to breed because they see that they have access to four beds in the village, and even though they can't access them, they believe there's room to grow in the village, so they pop out the baby. They're not able to get to the beds. The baby thinks that they can get to the beds and goes into the hole. As you can see, we got them starting to breed, and you can see the barrels are no longer on the sides. And it jumps down, baby jumps down in the hole. It takes a little water stream, and there it goes. We could block that off and just wait to collect them, but we're going to let the babies escape into the village and be free. The baby can't get back into the farm. I've got a little um, 2 brick there so that I can jump back on top and get back into the farm if I need to. But no other mob can do that because we're just slightly under 2 bricks. We can slide underneath that, no problemo, and the villagers can't. As you can see, the baby has seen some stuff that he likes. There's lots of beds up there. There's lots of villages and there's some workstations. Yeah, our Fletcher ended up disappearing as well because he was a wanderer, and potentially one of our villagers with some books did as well. But I haven't took inventory of those quite yet, so we shall see in the future. This iron golem couldn't defend off the village from these raiders. Raiders seem to be a big problem in this area. I've killed a bunch of them already, and we want the village. The pillagers might be the ones that actually killed a bunch of the villagers. I've ran out of food here, so I'm kind of a little cautious taking on this guy, but we end up taking him on pretty well. Honestly, the skeleton faces a much bigger threat than those pillagers did. They just shoot much faster. Oh, and one more pops up. Not sure where the leader of this pack was. There was none at this village. Maybe he strolled on by. But yeah, these 3 villagers seem to be working fine. That grown up, that was a baby that snuck in there underneath that 2 high tall or 1.5 tall door, so that seems fine. Picked up some extra wheat here because I'm running out of bars. I need to get some food. That seemed to be the only food source here. I don't want to steal any of those potatoes if I don't have to. But this is where we make some bread, yeah, and then check on how the farmers are doing here. And it's filling in pretty nice. I don't think any of the zombies can reach them, so they're just farming away. And this is where we're going to be setting up our next farm, the iron farm. And we utilize the new mechanic, new as in since I've played last, which is probably 118. And we use the boats to get the villagers in with a lead. So you can now lead a boat into, as you can see in my inventory, there's the lead. And that worked very well, getting those in there. Took me a while to figure out that the reason why the villagers weren't spawning any golems was because there needed to be paths down there, and the villagers needed to sleep before they get spooked by the zombie. And this is a farm designed by Voltrox, or at least I watched the tutorial on his YouTube channel, Voltrox, and it seems to be pretty well done. I ran into some issues. I'm not sure if I had the coordinates wrong, but the iron golems kept spawning outside of the radius, and I bet so. When that happened, I tried to take out the iron golems. See, as they spawn outside of it, and they were taking me down with one shot to like 1 hearts, 1.5 hearts, 2 hearts. And yeah, that was kind of scary some of those times. So I took out probably about a dozen iron golems while trying to debug what was going on with the iron farm. And yeah, I just trolled these guys around here, slapping them a couple times. Still need that. That time he only got me for 2 hearts, and that made me a little more, little less concerned. But then they started hitting me uh, for 8, 9 hearts, and I was like, what is going on here? So yeah, I path out the another row here, figuring that we needed another row here, and then I try to move on. But I think I needed either to a couple more since I believe because I didn't have it all leveled, and they can spawn a little lower. That happened. So I'm out grabbing some resources, mostly some andesite and cobble, and another raid gets me. This may have been the one that went from the village. This is by where I've set up camp at my on the beach. But these guys came across here, and I was trying to figure out if I could pass the banner to a guy without a banner and see if it would drop another omnious potion. But I was afraid to get hit again. And here we're letting out the cows and moving them away from my house so I don't hear them all the time. There are a bunch of them over there, and this is why we needed the cobblestone and andesite. Was we were making a little enclosure for these guys instead of being cooped up in a cage. Um, and all the ones that were able to get in here have a chance to live, at least until the next feeding session. And now we get out with through the vines. Pretty easy escape there, and then we chop up some beef for some dinner and breakfast. Very nice. Oh, so nice going to sleep when you don't have to hear the cows mooing constantly in your ear. And then the benefits, you get to wake up and you gotta get some steak in the morning if you're hungry. And there you go. Win-win. So yeah, now we're going to move the pandas into their own enclosure by the cows, so that they have a little more area to play around in, which I think is nice. These guys were giving me some issues trying to move them. I'm not sure if they didn't have enough room there or what, but they just wanted to sit in the little hole. Finally, we moved them in. Little step-up bridge with some bamboo in here. We're going to make these enclosures a little more nice with some change of elevation and or some change of coloring in the sidings there. I want to include stairs with variety, slabs of some variety, and also the moss. What is that called? Mossy cobblestone into the mix as well. Potentially some bricks or probably cracked bricks, maybe on the base. But yeah, right next to the cows. And we want to use our fortune pick to get some more potatoes because we are not really running out of food. But I want to, for one of the next projects, work on a bigger farming area. I'm not sure if I want to do it closer to that other village or closer to the home here. Because this is a nice little area, I want to try to keep things moving along. And I do kind of like not bringing the villagers over to my area because they are so overpowered, in my opinion. Uh, moving, traveling over here seems like fine deal. And again, iron golems keep spawning, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. So I take this guy out, try to do some more evaluation of how they're getting there. And I'm pretty sure they're still spawning on this side of the area, but I can't tell because they're on the upside. So I removed this section and the other section, which I don't think I needed to do because I think they're still spawning on that other side. But we take this down, and I eventually want to level off this little slope as well, and kind of gradually move up towards the villager breeder, just to give a better landscape. And I might do something with the slope there is on the other side of the iron golem. See, and now they spawn inside of the kill pit, and I'm thinking, oh, all right, so we fixed it. I'm like, oh, I probably didn't need to clear this section out, but I continue to do it anyways, just because I already started and I was pretty much almost done with it. And nightfall begins to go, and I want to get to sleep just in case there's some more babies running around. Don't want to have them die from zombies. I'm not sure if I want to close off the farm, like gate it out, or just have some iron golems, but that might mess up the iron golem spawner rates. But these villagers are going. The field's almost filled up, but we want to add a lightning rod here, so that the lightning strikes the lightning rod instead of the villagers or the wooden structure that it's built off of, so that won't catch fire or anything. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna make this jump across, so I was a little nervous because I don't think I brought my hoe again with me. And going over to the iron golem farm again, and there's still an iron golem there. Yeah, I know yeah. They're freaked out, but guess what? There's an iron golem on the other side, but yeah, let's put a lightning rod. Yeah, there it is. Just sitting there. Yeah, we put an a copper lightning rod so that even though this is built out of stone, we still don't want the villagers or the zombie to get struck by lightning. The villagers would turn to witches, which we wouldn't want that. Now here's where I remove that little piece up there, so I know that they're spawning over there instead of up there and wandering around. And then we slap them. Take out this guy. Unfortunately, I didn't get on recording when I dropped down to 2 or 1.5 hearts. Must have been a crit hit because the other ones were only hit me for 2 hearts. Yeah, we added a little section down here for our iron collection. We might want to make that a little bigger. I'm not really trying to create a massive iron collection. I mean, Eventually, we're going to need a lot of iron for our huge automated chest system. But yeah, another one spawned there. So I'm like, what the heck? So I one more layer this way, and it should work. As you just see there, I missed a spot though. So there's going to be another section of iron golems that spawn, and then I do raise up that one level, one more. Yeah, take out this golem. Getting a little better at the jump crit hits. But yeah, you can see in that clip I missed that one little section of two there. I just wait around here trying to figure out if they keep spawning in or not. The thing is, in between those clips, yeah, they spawn in there, so I'm thinking it's working, and I'm all happy doing the sidestep. And we go up here, and yep, another baby villager. There you go. We tore it down, and now we're building the village back up. And all the potatoes are planted except for one area, it looks like. So that should be filled the next time. I do probably want to also trade with these villagers. But then I might need to take down those trapdoors so that they can go to their profession, and then I'll have to add in another one as well. So checking over here, I'm like, yes, finally it's done. Oh, another one spawned there in, and oh yeah, this is where I actually finished it, because I added this new layer and then I flattened those two paths, and that is all complete, and that is all done. We got about half a stack in there, and that should be good. And now is the end of my after the fact commentary. Final thing for today, we added a little pond for the axolotl here. That should do them well. It's inside with the pandas. The pandas don't get lonely. Yeah, in the meantime, additional to the enchantment book of the day, feel free to give this guy a name. And thank you for watching. Have a good one. Later.